Forgiveness is a powerful and beautiful act, capable of healing wounds and rebuilding trust. But let's face it, some actions go beyond the point of repair. These aren't simple mistakes or misunderstandings. These are betrayals that strike at the very heart of who we are, leaving scars that no apology can ever fully heal. Picture this: a partner who has broken your trust so profoundly that it makes you question everything about them. Would you let them back into your life? Before you answer, think about this. Walking away isn't always about anger or seeking revenge. Sometimes it's about safeguarding your peace, your values, and the life you deserve to live. In today's video, we're diving into 7 actions so destructive that offering a second chance could come at a cost far greater than you might expect. These aren't just relationship deal breakers. They're critical lessons in self-respect and the boundaries we must uphold to protect ourselves. Stay tuned, because the final point might completely shift your perspective on forgiveness. Ready to explore? Let's get started. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It could be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. 1. Repeated lying. Trust is the cornerstone of every relationship, a delicate yet vital thread that weaves two people together, fostering safety, respect, and connection. But when honesty is repeatedly replaced by lies, that thread begins to fray. What was once a bond rooted in openness and truth becomes a tangled web of doubt, confusion, and insecurity. Think of trust as a house being built brick by brick, with each brick representing a shared truth. A strong, stable house can only stand if every brick is solid and intact. But each lie acts like a cracked brick, weakening the structure and creating gaps. Over time, the entire house crumbles under the weight of its own instability. This is exactly what happens when someone discovers their partner has been dishonest time and time again. Take my friend Lisa, for example. At first, her husband's lies seemed small, harmless excuses about a text message or why he came home late. But as the lies grew more frequent and elaborate, Lisa found herself questioning everything he said. One day, during a casual conversation with his friends, she uncovered the truth. The pain hit her like a tidal wave, not just from the lie itself, but from the realization that her trust had been shattered beyond repair. Stoic philosophy reminds us that honesty is not just a moral duty, but a safeguard for healthy relationships. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nothing hurts more than a lie from someone you trust." And he was right. Repeated dishonesty doesn't just erode trust, it destroys the very foundation needed for a lasting, meaningful connection. Apologies may offer temporary comfort, but they can't mend the deep cracks left by ongoing deceit. Each lie weakens the bond, making it harder to rebuild what was lost. Forgiveness might provide momentary relief, but it can't undo the lasting damage caused by habitual dishonesty. As Stoicism teaches us, sometimes the only way to protect yourself from a future filled with uncertainty is to walk away from those who consistently disrespect the truth. You deserve a relationship built on honesty, not deception. Don't be afraid to question or reevaluate connections that leave you in constant doubt, because only on a foundation of truth can love truly flourish and endure. 2. Physical or emotional abuse. Relationships are meant to be sanctuaries of safety, love, and mutual respect. A space where two people can grow, support, and uplift one another. But when abuse, whether physical or emotional, enters the picture, that sanctuary is shattered. What was once a foundation of trust and care becomes a battlefield of pain and fear. Abuse is not just a red flag, It's a glaring boundary that should never be crossed. It's not a plea for compromise, but a call to action, a demand to protect yourself and walk away, no matter how difficult it may seem. Picture a lush, thriving garden, vibrant with life and beauty. Abuse is like a toxic chemical seeping into the soil, poisoning the roots of trust and connection. No matter how well tended the surface may appear, the damage beneath will continue to spread unless the source of toxicity is removed entirely. Physical abuse is the most visible form of this poison. It's not just an act of violence, it's a violation of someone's safety, dignity, and humanity. Consider Sarah, for instance, who once believed deeply in the love she shared with her partner. One day, in a moment of anger, he struck her. The bruise on her arm was more than a physical injury. It was a betrayal of the trust and security she had once felt. She tried to forgive him, convincing herself it was a one-time mistake. But when it happened again and again, Sarah realized the painful truth. Real love doesn't hurt. And so, she found the courage to leave. Not all abuse is as visible as a bruise or a scar. Emotional abuse operates in the shadows, manifesting through cruel words, manipulation, and degrading behavior. Take Jack, for example, who endured constant ridicule from his partner. "You'll never amount to anything," she would say. At first, he dismissed it as harsh words, spoken in anger, but over time, the constant belittling chipped away at his confidence, leaving him feeling small, trapped, and broken. Emotional abuse leaves no visible marks, but its wounds cut deep into the soul, often taking longer to heal than physical injuries. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true strength lies in safeguarding our inner peace and self-worth. No one has the right to diminish your value or control your life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Walking away from abuse is not an act of weakness. It's an extraordinary act of courage and self-respect. It's choosing to step out of the storm and into the safety and peace you deserve. Leaving an abusive relationship, whether physical or emotional, is one of the hardest decisions you may ever make. But it's also the first step toward reclaiming your freedom, dignity, and sense of self. It's a declaration that you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, kindness, and genuine love. Remember, you cannot build a beautiful future on a foundation of pain and abuse. Choose to protect your heart, your body, and your mind. You deserve to be loved, cherished, and respected. Step out of the storm, and you will find the light waiting on the other side. You are stronger than you think, and your well-being is worth fighting for. The weight of public humiliation. Love is a profound force, one that uplifts, empowers, and inspires. It thrives on mutual respect and care, creating a bond where both individuals feel valued and cherished. But when a partner chooses to humiliate you in public, that bond fractures, leaving behind a trail of pain and betrayal. Public humiliation is not merely a fleeting act of disrespect. It is a deep, searing wound to your dignity. It's a betrayal that lingers, one that no simple apology can easily repair. Picture this: you're at a gathering, surrounded by friends, enjoying the warmth of their company. Suddenly, the person you trust most makes a cutting remark about you in front of everyone. The room falls silent. All eyes turn to you. In that moment, shame and hurt wash over you, leaving you exposed and vulnerable. A loving partner uplifts you in the eyes of others. They respect you, protect you, and celebrate you, especially in public. When they choose to belittle you instead, it's not love, it's control. It's not care, it's disregard. These actions erode trust and plant seeds of self-doubt. leaving you questioning your worth. If even the person who claims to love me doesn't respect me, what does that say about me? Public humiliation is like a silent poison. It seeps into your psyche, eroding your confidence and suffocating your joy. The harm it causes is lasting, leaving scars that linger long after the moment has passed. It's not just a momentary embarrassment. It's an assault on your sense of self. Imagine a flower wilting under the harsh glare of the sun, not because it's weak, but because it's been placed in an environment it was never meant to endure. Public humiliation does the same. It chips away at your self-worth, draining your emotional resilience and leaving you feeling diminished. This act doesn't just harm you, it tarnishes the way others perceive your relationship. Friends and family begin to question the respect your partner has for you, and this discomfort ripples outward, straining the connections around you. Stoic philosophy teaches us that our dignity doesn't depend on how others treat us, but on how we treat ourselves. A partner who humiliates you publicly crosses a line, one that forgiveness alone cannot easily mend. Choosing to walk away from such a relationship isn't a failure. It's an act of reclaiming your self-worth and honoring your values. Stand tall, reclaim your strength, and remember this: real love never makes you feel small. It lifts you up, protects you, and allows you to shine as your authentic self. If your partner chooses to hurt you publicly, they not only disrespect you, but also the love you share. You deserve a love that nurtures your spirit, not one that drags you into the shadows of pain and humiliation. Don't settle for less. You are worthy of a love that helps you flourish, one that honors your dignity and celebrates the incredible person you are. 4. The devastation of repeated infidelity. Trust is the cornerstone of love, the invisible bond that unites two hearts, allowing them to beat as one. But when infidelity invades a relationship, that bond begins to unravel, leaving behind scars that are difficult to mend. A single act of betrayal is painful enough. Yet, when it happens repeatedly, it becomes something far more destructive, a blatant dismissal of your value and the sacred trust you've offered. Picture a pair of wedding rings, symbols of unity and lifelong commitment. Now imagine one of those rings cracked, its perfect circle shattered. This is what repeated infidelity does to a relationship. It destroys the very promise on which love is built. Each act of betrayal erodes the foundation, leaving behind only doubt, heartache, and a profound sense of loss. Infidelity isn't just about physical actions. It's about the violation of trust, the betrayal of intimacy, and the disregard for boundaries that should remain unshakable. When this happens repeatedly, it sends a clear message. Your partner does not value the commitment they made or the relationship you share. Think of a delicate glass vase, beautiful yet fragile. The first crack weakens it, but with care, it can be repaired. However, if that vase is dropped again and again, the pieces eventually become too broken to restore. Repeated infidelity is like dropping that vase over and over, leaving the relationship irreparably damaged. Love requires effort, respect, and loyalty. A true partner cherishes your trust as if it were the most precious gift in the world. Repeated infidelity, however, is not a momentary lapse in judgment. It's a conscious choice. A choice to prioritize their own desires over your feelings. It reveals a lack of remorse, accountability, and willingness to change. Imagine discovering yet another betrayal, a message, an action, a broken promise. The pain lies not only in the act itself, but in the realization that your trust has been taken for granted, that your forgiveness has been met with further deceit. Each betrayal makes it harder to believe in the possibility of healing, and even harder to see the relationship as something worth salvaging. Forgiveness is a gift, but it is not limitless. When your forgiveness is met with repeated betrayal, it becomes clear that the issue is not about mistakes, but a fundamental lack of respect for you and your relationship. Choosing to walk away from repeated infidelity is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of strength. It is a declaration that you will no longer accept less than you deserve. You deserve loyalty from a partner who values your trust and protects it as an essential part of their love for you. Love cannot flourish in the shadow of betrayal. If your partner continues to break your trust, they are showing you who they truly are. Believe them and choose to prioritize yourself. You deserve a love that is faithful, honest, and unwavering, a love that reflects your own commitment. Anything less is not love at all. 5. Gaslighting, a betrayal of trust. Relationships are meant to be safe havens, grounded in respect, honesty, and mutual understanding. Cornerstones that allow two people to thrive together. But when gaslighting infiltrates a relationship, these foundations begin to fracture. Gaslighting is not a simple mistake or miscommunication. It is deliberate manipulation at its most destructive, aimed at making you question your reality and ultimately your sense of self. Picture yourself holding a lantern, its steady glow guiding your path. Now imagine someone intentionally dimming that light, while insisting it remains as bright as ever. Over time, you start to doubt your own perception, wondering if the encroaching darkness is even real. This is the insidious nature of gaslighting. It chips away at your clarity, leaving you to second-guess your thoughts, memories, and even your identity. Gaslighting is not accidental. It is calculated. A manipulative partner twists your words, denies events you clearly remember, and sows seeds of doubt in your mind. These subtle distortions accumulate, creating a fog that clouds your confidence and warps your perception of reality. It's like staring into a distorted mirror. You no longer recognize the reflection staring back at you. Imagine confiding in someone about your hurt feelings after a heated argument, only to be met with dismissive remarks like, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened, you're imagining things." At first, you might stand your ground, defending your truth. But over time, the constant invalidation wears you down, and you begin to question your own memory and emotions. This is how gaslighting severs your connection to your sense of self, leaving you reliant on someone else's version of reality. Gaslighting doesn't just erode your confidence, it isolates you. It silences your voice, making you hesitant to speak up, doubt your instincts, and stay quiet, even when you know you're right. But here's the most crucial truth. Your inner light has never been extinguished. It has only been obscured by someone else's manipulations. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of clarity and truth. It reminds us that your reality is valid, your voice deserves to be heard, and your perceptions are your own. Recognizing gaslighting for what it is, a tool of control, not love, is the first step toward reclaiming your power. Love should never make you doubt yourself. It should empower you. Walking away from a gaslighting partner is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of courage. It is a declaration that your truth matters, your voice deserves to be heard, and your reality is valid. You deserve a relationship built on honesty and respect, one where your light is celebrated, not dimmed. Trust in your clarity, stand firm in your truth, and never allow anyone to take that away from you. 6. Controlling behavior, a betrayal of freedom. Love is meant to be a partnership, not a prison. It is a bond that nurtures freedom, individuality, and mutual respect. But when controlling behavior seeps into a relationship, it undermines these essential foundations. Instead of fostering trust, it imposes restrictions. Instead of offering support, it demands compliance. This is not love. It's a glaring red flag that cannot be ignored. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast forest, free to explore its paths, with every step guided by your own choices. Now picture someone blocking your way, insisting you follow the route they've chosen for you. At first, it might seem like concern, but over time, the truth becomes clear. You are no longer in control of your own journey. This is the essence of controlling behavior, a force that strips you of your autonomy. Control doesn't always reveal its true nature. Sometimes it masquerades as care. "I just want what's best for you," they might say. Or, "Trust me, this is for your own good." But beneath these words lies restriction. A controlling partner may dictate who you can talk to, what you can do, or question every decision you make. They may isolate you from friends and family, slowly eroding your sense of self. Think of a candle burning brightly in the dark. Its flame symbolizes hope and strength. But if someone keeps snuffing it out, you may eventually hesitate to light it again. Controlling behavior operates in the same way, draining your spirit and making you question your worth. Instead of feeling loved and supported, you feel watched and confined. In a healthy relationship, love elevates you. It doesn't hold you back. It encourages your growth, respects your dreams, passions, and individuality. Controlling behavior, on the other hand, is like a cage. It may appear to offer structure, but in reality, it stifles your growth and potential. A young sapling needs sunlight and fertile soil to thrive, not a small pot that constricts its roots. If you find yourself in a relationship where your choices are no longer your own, take a moment to reflect. Is this love or is it control? Remember, love should never feel like a cage. It should be an open sky, giving you the freedom to soar. A partner who truly loves you would never block your path. They would walk beside you, offering encouragement and support as you grow into the best version of yourself. Leaving a controlling relationship is not a failure. It's a reclamation. It's reclaiming your freedom, your worth, and your self-respect. You deserve a life built on trust and respect. Choose freedom, choose yourself, and never settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. 7. The importance of accountability in relationships. Growth in any relationship starts with a fundamental truth. Everyone makes mistakes. What truly defines a strong relationship isn't the absence of errors, but the willingness to acknowledge them, take responsibility, and learn from them. When a partner refuses to be accountable, they're not just avoiding responsibility. They're also showing a lack of commitment to the relationship's growth and well-being. Think of a relationship like a house. Imagine a beautiful home with a leaky roof after a storm. Instead of fixing the leak, the homeowner ignores it, saying, "It's not my fault, it's just the weather." Over time, the water seeps into every corner, weakening the structure until the entire house collapses. Relationships work the same way. When a partner refuses to take responsibility, small but dangerous cracks form, eroding the foundation of trust and respect. Consider a disagreement with your partner. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry, that was my fault," they respond with, "That's not my problem. You're just too sensitive." These words don't just dismiss your feelings. They disregard the impact of their actions on the relationship. Each time this happens, trust erodes, respect fades, and the bond that once thrived begins to weaken. Accountability is more than just admitting mistakes. It's a sign of respect. It communicates, "This relationship matters to me, and I'll do what it takes to make things right." A partner who refuses to take responsibility isn't just denying their mistakes. They're denying the value of the relationship and the respect you deserve. This creates a cycle of blame and neglect, stifling growth and deepening resentment. Picture a mirror with cracks, distorting the reflection. Each refusal to take responsibility is another blow to the glass, making it harder to see a clear image of the relationship. Without accountability, misunderstandings multiply, resentment festers, and the connection that once thrived begins to crumble. Taking responsibility is an act of care. It says, "I value this relationship enough to own my mistakes and strive to make things right." A partner who refuses accountability denies you the respect and validation you deserve. Love requires humility, a willingness to set aside ego and pride, to self-reflect and ask, "How can I do better?" Without this, growth becomes impossible. A partner who avoids accountability remains trapped in a cycle of blame and deflection, leaving no room for the relationship to move forward. Imagine a roadblock on a winding path. The journey ahead holds promise, but without removing the obstacle, progress is impossible. Accountability clears the way, creating space for growth, healing, and deeper connection. Without it, the journey ends, leaving both partners stuck. Walking away from someone who refuses accountability is not a failure. It's an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that you deserve a partner who values growth, someone who sees mistakes as opportunities to learn rather than excuses to avoid change. Growth comes from owning mistakes, taking responsibility for actions, and accepting consequences. A partner who avoids accountability doesn't just hinder the present, they sabotage the future. Choose a partner who is willing to grow alongside you, someone who values the relationship enough to admit when they're wrong. That's the foundation of a strong, healthy love, the kind of love you truly deserve. Choose yourself, always. Life is a journey, and the relationships you build along the way should lift you up, empower you, and help you grow. Love, at its core, is not a test of endurance. It's meant to be a sanctuary, a place where trust, respect, and kindness thrive. But when those principles are broken, it's not a time for compromise. It's a moment to ask yourself the most important question: will I choose myself, or will I choose to endure the pain? Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, with a vast sky of opportunities stretching before you. Behind you lies a path marked with hurt, disrespect, and broken promises. What do? Turn back to face the pain, or step forward into freedom? Trust me, moving forward is always lighter on the heart. You deserve a relationship that reflects your worth, a connection built on mutual respect and trust. If your current relationship makes you feel small, unworthy, or overlooked, that's not love. It's a shadow of what love should be. A partner who crosses your boundaries, disregards your dignity, or dismisses your happiness isn't honoring the relationship you deserve. Now, picture yourself walking away, shedding the weight of the past. Each step feels lighter as the toxic chains fall away. Suddenly, you stand in the warmth of the sun, smiling, ready to embrace a new chapter of your life. This isn't giving up. It's rising above. It's choosing yourself. This doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning. It means recognizing that your worth isn't defined by someone else's actions, but by your courage to stand up for what you deserve. Every step forward affirms your strength, self-respect, and belief in a brighter future. Love isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build you. A healthy relationship doesn't ask you to shrink. It inspires you to grow. It doesn't leave you questioning your worth. It celebrates it. If your partner isn't bringing that energy, walking away isn't a loss. It's a victory for your soul. Imagine this. You, standing in the sunlight, smiling, achieving your goals, and enjoying your own company. You've left behind what no longer serves you and embraced a new chapter of self-love and empowerment. This is the life you can create when you prioritize yourself over relationships that tear you down. You are worthy of a love that uplifts, respect that never wavers, and a connection that nurtures your soul. If someone crosses the lines of trust, kindness, or care, it's time to make the hardest, but most important, choice: to walk away. Never settle for less than what you're worth. Your life is too precious, your happiness too valuable, and your future too bright to be dimmed by anything less than the love you truly deserve. Choose yourself, always. The best is yet to come. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments.